All right, everyone. That is a quick overview of WebSphere Automation, and I want to go ahead and show you a quick demo. And as we discussed, you guys are all WebSphere administrators, so you're all responsible for maintaining security compliance of your entire WebSphere estate. And you basically told me this is kind of what happens is IBM sends you a generic flash to indicate a new security bulletin, and you're of course subscribed, and you get these security bulletins, so you're aware about any vulnerabilities and the potential impact and the severity and the recommended solutions. You've told me, just like every other customer that I've heard from, is you track your WebSphere inventory in an Excel spreadsheet, right? And it's a very manual process. You enter stuff into the spreadsheet and you make changes to the spreadsheet. And so based on this new alert, you open that spreadsheet and you go through the spreadsheet looking through your WebSphere servers and seeing if this CVE applies to any of your servers in your inventory, right? And you decide what to do. You manually download the fix, you deploy the fix to the servers, and then when it's all updated, then you manually update the WebSphere application server spreadsheet, and somehow you provide compliance reports and audit reports back to your management. And so it's very manual, very time consuming, and you'd really like to be able to automate this, okay? So what you'd really like to have is a nice consolidated dashboard, right? A management dashboard that can help you increase your awareness and response time to these common vulnerabilities. You'd like to have automated vulnerability tracking, right? Let WebSphere Automation track new security bulletins across your entire WebSphere and Liberty environments, whether they're on-prem or on VMs or containers on cloud. You'd like to have contextual notifications. You'd like to receive security bulletin notifications only if those vulnerabilities affect your environment, right? And therefore reduce noise and interruptions to your operations team. So you'd like to be able to give some live visibility to key stakeholders. So your security compliance teams, for example, you'd be able to instantly share the security posture of your WebSphere estate. And of course, a fix history, again, an audit trail for when vulnerabilities are detected, how long your servers have been vulnerable, and when patches or upgrades were applied to resolve these issues. And of course, you'd like WebSphere Automation to automatically deploy these fixes to your servers, whether the Liberty servers or traditional WebSphere servers, directly from the WebSphere administration, WebSphere Automation dashboard. So let me just show you a quick demo here of what that'll look like. So here I am in WebSphere Automation, and let me just go to the application runtimes, and I've done a little bit of pre-setup. So what you want to do first is you want to set your email server, right? So just give it an email server, a username, a password, etc., and then enter the email address that you want to be notified at from WebSphere Automation when an event happens or an inventory change happens or a new vulnerability comes out. So this is the email address. So I've already done that, right? Put in the notification. The next thing you want to do after adding your email information is you want to start registering all your WebSphere servers, whether it's TWAS, traditional WebSphere, or Liberty servers. And I've went ahead and registered one of each here. But let me show you what you do here to register your server. It's really, really simple. So to register a new server, it's very easy. You basically take this little bit of code right here, you copy that code, and you paste it into your WebSphere server.xml file, okay? And then for the Liberty servers, you copy and paste this usage metering certificate, which basically allows WebSphere Automation to communicate with your WebSphere through SSL, right? And that's it. So once you then restart the server, it'll read the server XML, and your WebSphere, that WebSphere server is now being monitored and managed by WebSphere Automation, okay? Real easy. So I went ahead and done that, like I said, for 2 servers. So now we have an environment here. And of course, this might be tens, hundreds of servers in your environment, but just one of each for now. Okay, so I've set that up. So now let's take a look at what we've got. So looking at our inventory, looking at our inventory here, we see that it's a nice little dashboard. You can sort by server name or host name or version, etc. It gives you the entire inventory of all your estate here, what kind of applied fixes you have, what the Java SDK version is, etc. And if they are vulnerable, and you can see here, I've got the TWA server does have a critical vulnerability, 10, which is the highest, and the Liberty server has a high 7.5 value vulnerability, and we'll fix that here in just a minute. If you come over here to the CVEs, this will show you all the vulnerabilities that are affecting your environment. And I went ahead and sorted these by risk level from critical, right, all the way down to medium and low. There's another 2 pages of this right here. And again, we can sort by CVE, we can filter, and even though I have 2 servers in my inventory, you see for this critical one here, only one of the servers is vulnerable. And that's because I happen to know this vulnerability doesn't affect Liberty servers, right? But if you scroll down, you can see here, these vulnerabilities affect both, or in my case, all my WebSphere servers. And, once again, I can go ahead and, sort by vulnerable servers, and you can see all the fixes that affect all my servers versus just one. Okay. So going back to security here, what I want to do now is let's go ahead and take care of this, right? So if I click on a server name, first of all, I can get the full information of the server, the host name, the version, the SDK, the location, etc., all the installed fixes and when they were installed. So this is really helpful to get a good overview of your WebSphere estate. Here are the vulnerabilities that affect this specific server. And let's go ahead and click into this one here. As you can see, this critical level 10 vulnerability is actually the infamous Apache Log4j, which can allow a remote attacker to execute arbitrary code on the system, right? So pretty serious stuff. And this took the internet by storm, I think, back in 2021, late 2021. So for each of these vulnerabilities that you look at, you can see which servers are affected. If I click on this view button here, that'll just open a new window with the details of the vulnerability, what it affects, when it came out, and what to do to resolve it. So we know we're affected, and we know this one server is affected. So if we come over here and go to prepare fix, right, this will allow you to fix it. So we will take this, we'll put this fix pack on, okay, and we have an option here to fetch the fix and then install it later, or fetch and then install fix. I also have the option to create a backup first. And when I'm not going to do this right here, but what this will do is basically, what's happening now is WebSphere Automation is downloading the fix. It is checking the target WebSphere application server. Does it have enough disk space for the patch and for the patching routine? If I told it, go ahead and take a backup, it'll check to make sure there's enough disk space for the backup. It'll go ahead and back up the install directories for that WebSphere server. It's going to download this patch, and since I said download and fix or download and patch, it should do everything automatically and then just show me when that's done. So this will take a couple of minutes to do, and meanwhile, let's have a look around the Liberty server. So you can see the Liberty server, the same type of stuff. I get the information here, where it's installed, what versions it's installed, what fixes are installed on there, a list of the vulnerabilities that affects the server. Okay, so let's take a look here at what's going on. come back here, and we want to go to fix management. We can see the current status on here. So the current action is install, and it is installing the fix, and we are pending. So let's give that a minute to fix, and be right back. Okay, we're back. It's been about, I guess, 4 or 5 minutes here. I went ahead and stopped the recording while we wait. But here we are. We're back on the security view, and you can see instead of a critical level 10 vulnerability, we don't have that anymore, and all we have left is a 8.8 on the TWAS. And you can also see, if we come over here to my email, well, first of all, you know, as soon as I registered the first server, it'll just tell me, okay, this is registered, and we detected a known vulnerability with a score of 10 in your inventory, right? So log into WebSphere Automation to look at that, and that's what we did, right? We looked at that, and then we fixed it, and then just a few minutes ago, I got this email here saying, hey, WebSphere Automation successfully installed an interim fix. Log into WebSphere Automation for details. So here we are. We're looking at WebSphere Automation for details. Let's just click into, and if we look at the list of CVEs, you can see that this critical CVE has no more vulnerable server, and it was fixed. And if we go back to the servers, take a look at the actual server that had this vulnerability, the level 10 is no longer there. Looking at the status of the fix management page, the status is succeeded, so it didn't automatically installed. And here in the fix history, we can tell which fix was installed, which CVEs they resolved, and when it was resolved. And this will help you with your security compliance team, or if you need to meet any security SLAs with vendors or customers, you've got this full audit trail of you know, how long a server was vulnerable and when it was fixed. Okay, so so that's it. We saw a vulnerability come through. We managed it. We got the alert. We let WebSphere Automation automatically download the fix and apply the fix. Within a couple of minutes, that was resolved. We got the email that said it is resolved, and we can just continue on here, you know, resolving the rest of them in the same fashion. But that's pretty much it for WebSphere Automation. You know, if you'd like to have you know, a more detailed, perhaps on-site proof of concept in your environment, we can discuss this as well. And unless there's any questions, I'll let you go. Thank you.